And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
We ventured forth and got decimated by a surprise attack by the Mossmen. Find ourselves back here with the sound of a hammer tapping away in the back in front of
Down here.
Sen's fortress. I believe it's Sen. It's been a while since I played, but I know the fortress part. And there we go.
Hugh. Oh, wait, wrong game.
I think I hit B first. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, and we're here. Okay.
And I'm
How's it going, bud?
Using things I don't need to use. Oops.
Anything forged? My love. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, I don't
know where you were going with it either.
Me neither. So I'm gonna love when I say this because this is already like old news and everything. But breaking news: the DLC for Elden Ring, since we're playing a From Software game, has been announced. Literally no information except for a piece of artwork has been given.
Yes.
And that's all we have to go on. Because even the company has stated, we've just now started production.
Yep. Even though they've been working on something.
They have. I think, well, I know they've been working on Armored Core, obviously. They already showed that.
Yeah. And that apparently is coming out in September and or October.
Ooh. And I've already stated I'm going to catch up with the series best I can for that one.
Yep.
I've already put some on my list of things to buy. But still, breaking news on what the DLC could possibly somewhat be about. I believe it is called Shadows of the Erdtree.
Yes.
I think, yes.
Yes, that's what I remember seeing. Anyway.
What are your theories on this, Brent? Down to the field with Brent. What is your idea of what's going on in this situation?
No idea.
Fair enough. I have my own theories.
It does look like we're going to touch on death a lot more.
Yes.
Like for instance, Ronnie's half and the death rune itself.
Yes, because okay, so maybe I'm just that kind of fella, and I don't know how many DLCs they're going to do for Elden Ring. It's a very large game.
Well,
They've been
and then
working
they
on other
changed
things.
it.
They did?
They changed. Well, it's not DLC. It's an expansion.
Ooh, I'm guessing we're still gonna have to pay, but I can live with that.
Yep, I think it's gonna be a little bit like Destiny, but I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
I really do.
Because I'm okay with having it. All I want, I don't want this to be, and granted, I love Monster Hunter. I really do.
Shit.
I love Monster Hunter to death. But I don't want this to be a Monster Hunter scenario where, and it sounds bad to say, because Monster Hunter gave out so many free things.
Yes, they did.
But like, I don't want this to be like one major DLC and that's all we get. Because I think with Elden Ring especially, if Dark Souls 3 is able to get 2 DLCs, Elden Ring at a minute, well, yeah, Dark Souls 2 got 3.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that honestly, and I think I've already stated this, and you might hate me. I think I said it already, but Dark Souls 2 is my favorite of all the Dark Souls games.
Oh, yeah. Everybody says that from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, it's a very, it's a topic. Some people don't like that topic.
I was hitting the wrong button, wasn't I?
But anyway, I want to say that we're going to, I can think of 3 DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is old news, but I mean, there's not going to be anything else coming out from Software for a while. So
besides Armored Core stuff.
Exactly. So I'm not thinking to myself like, oh, by the time the video comes out, we're not going to, have X, Y, and Z. I'm not worried about that. What I'm thinking is that it's going to come out down to, my ideas at least, is, I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3 DLCs. Shadow of the Erdtree, I think by what we saw with the look of it, I've heard a theory that it's based maybe post Elden Ring. So what happened to the, that's... Milady gets another shot in a little while. Yeah, that's where they got you last time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
We can make our way back. The Mossmen aren't the biggest threat, so I know we're going to be okay.
Yes, we'll be fine.
But I know that, let's see, what else am I thinking? That I've heard the idea of like post Elden Ring, so like what happens after, and I guess technically this has to be spoilers because there's no real getting around it to talk about DLC if it's post.
Yep.
So fair warning to anyone out there. Going to touch on a little Elden Ring. It's been over a year now, so if you haven't played it, first off, go play it.
Yep.
Second off, well, honestly, like From Software, endings aren't really that spoilery, so I'm kind of okay with that. So consider this me one of those only degenerates that's going to tell you. In the story, no matter what, there's no option. The giant Erdtree in the middle gets just completely burned down.
Yep.
You burn it. That's the.
Yep.
You have no other option.
Yes.
So it does seem that in the artwork that is shown, you see the tree in the distance.
Yep.
It's either A, maybe you're in a land far away from the lands between, and maybe they have their own large tree.
Yep.
Or B, it's possibly the Erd tree further in the future. Like, that's the charred remains of what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I've heard. And then, and this is going to bring up a lot of things that people have really wanted to touch on, if you look down, because the Erd tree's in the distance, if you look down in, like, this fieldish area where there's, like, a horse-ish creature riding like Torrent,
Yep.
you will notice riding on it looks like a fair-haired, you could say woman or maiden, or a more feminine-looking male.
Yeah. I know where you're going. I've heard all the theories and the stories, and I know exactly where you're going.
And it just so happens, in the story at least, there is talk of a certain character that we only physically see once, but this is only like their hand, and it's very...
And it's not technically them, it's their body.
Yes. I mean, I don't really know how else to get around it, so I'm just going to say it. So Mikola is pretty much the idea of who the person could be. It's possibly Mikola. And Mikola has been someone that is very largely brought up as, like... And there's many characters for, like, the background story that have come up, like... You have Mikola, who is supposed to be, one of the demigod children, and the twin sister to Melania.
Twin brother,
my bad.
Melania, yep.
Well, with the appearance,
Yep.
Give or take.
He's a girl boy.
Exactly. So, it's hard to talk about because, like, I don't want to touch on Mog because that's already a can of worms I don't want to touch on. But last we saw... I will just say them, even though it is a him. Last we saw them, they were inside of a cocoon, and we didn't really know what was going on. Well, you recovered, so you're okay.
Yes.
Just lure them out, take them one by one. I believe in you. What are your thoughts on what this DLC could be by the look of the photo?
So
the artwork.
Are we sure that's even the Erd tree?
We don't know. But we do know that
what if it's the Crucible?
It could be. The Crucible is also brought up a lot. That's another background thing brought up. That's one's really background.
Or Shadows of the Erd tree could also mean the Halig tree.
Yes, it could also be that.
Which would be Mikola. Yeah.
It could be, again, in the future, and this is like what happened to it or how it looks, because it is shown like the tree is looking pretty...
Well, and then there's, with the person that shows up in there on the horse of Torrent, a lot of people are saying that maybe this isn't after Elden Ring, but maybe before it.
Yes, it might be a prequel. And this would also...
I got 8.
Yeah, these guys are really... These Mossmen are not being nice.
No, I haven't leveled up in this entire, time we've been
this
playing
span.
this, so...
Well, look at the bright side. Once you take them down, you can hunt down what's in there and start some grinding or continue on. It looks like there's a boss coming up, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And I think I know which one it is.
It looks like it.
But what was I going to say? Prequel. We might touch on what happened to Godwyn.
Yep.
And that's a major background thing, again, that's brought up a lot.
Yep.
And the question of, like, okay, is this going to be the night he was assassinated?
Yep.
This the night the Death Room was brought into play, when it was separated?
Yep.
Are we going to be touching on what Ronnie looked like while she was alive?
Yep. Well, we kind of know what Ronnie looks like when she was alive.
True.
Red hair, just like Radagon.
Just a little bit more crispy.
Yep. Well, now. But before her, she wasn't.
Yes. So, that's a good question on what it could be. Mm-hmm. It could be anything. They could literally pull anything, have it a new character altogether. They could do it.
Yep.
We know it's probably not the original maiden that the main character was going to have, because if you go back to the original area that you start the game, you do find... And it's never... just like any kind of Souls game, it's never 100% confirmed, but it is shown, like, there is a maiden that has passed. You are supposed to have a maiden. You are maidenless.
Yep.
Probably what you're looking for.
Well, and then you actually... That's one of the things that you can do for the Moog quest.
Yep.
You can go back to her body.
Yes, you can. Oh, dang. And, like, there's just so many things. Like, another idea I've heard is maybe that is just, like, maybe in the distance, like, obviously you see the field they're riding in, but that tree's in the distance. Maybe towards the tree is also, like, not the swamp, but, like, the wild of where, what is the name of the first Tarnished, first Elden Lord? Not Godwin. Godric?
Godfrey?
Godric. Is it Godric or Godfrey? With the lion.
I'm pretty sure it's Godfrey.
Godfrey. So maybe we're going to those wilds.
Godric the Golden is the first boss.
Yes. So Godfrey. Maybe we're going to go and see where Godfrey went when he was tarnished, the wilds that he went to.
Yes.
You know, maybe that's it. Maybe we're going to deal with some barbarians or something from that area. And all of this I'm saying, too, could be other DLCs.
Yep.
Easily you could make it, because we did it in the original Elden Ring game.
Yep.
You become Elden Lord.
Elden Lord.
You quite literally lay down and fight a dragon from the past. You go to the past.
Yep.
That happens.
Yep.
It's not like time travel doesn't exist in the Soulsborne universe. You do it. This is DLC
times.
for this one, so I'm not going to say... Well, not going to say spoilers, because you could say I'm hinting at it or alluding.
Yes.
This game has a portion of that happen. You have Dark Souls 2. You literally, in base game, can do that. You have... I don't know if Dark Souls 3 can. I'm not that far in it yet. Maybe you can. You have Bloodborne. I don't know if you can do it in Bloodborne.
Or wasn't that just...
Oh, damn.
Wow. I am not getting
They're
very
really
far.
being mean. What else? Sekiro. I haven't even touched that. I want to, but I have not even touched it.
I haven't either, but I've heard it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say, like, does it even count as a Souls game? And I think the verdict was yes, but it's, like, the limit of what you could be for a Souls game. Mm-hmm. Which I'm fine with. It seems very good. Demon Souls, I don't know. Well, maybe go to the past or the future. I don't know.
I've never played Demon Souls.
I've played, like, the first hour of it, and that was about it, just because that was on PlayStation, and at that point I didn't have a PlayStation anymore. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know. I would assume any of those are probable. No matter what in this DLC, you're going to see one of those options.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
I don't know how. I don't know what method. I don't know how time travel would be. Maybe all the DLCs will be a time travel aspect to them. Because, I mean...
Or even alternate dimensions altogether.
Yeah. Maybe alternate what-ifs. I would be okay with that. Like, what if Radon did not go mad?
No shit. That would be terrifying.
Because remember, like... There's a big question all the time of, like, who is the hardest boss? And the answer always comes down to Melania. But then you have to actually ask yourself, remember, to fight Radon, he's literally a raid boss.
Yep.
You have to summon everyone to fight the raid boss.
Yep.
One-on-one with... I'm not saying people haven't done it. People have obviously done it.
I've done it once or twice.
Exactly. And it's not that it's impossible. By what I've heard, his fight's easier.
Bitch, though.
But, like, he doesn't revive. He doesn't gain... That meteor strike is pretty deadly.
Yes. And he doesn't have a second form either.
Yeah. He just has a second move style he busts out.
Yes.
But, like, I would say those two are the hardest. And in the lore-wise, they had the most epic, bombastic fight out of any of the characters.
Yes.
So I would say, probably, I don't know. I think Melania, I don't know. I think Melania still probably wins. But again, lore-wise, it ended in a draw. And the only way Melania could straight up just dookie her way out of there and make a run for it was nuking the entire area.
Yes.
That was her only way.
Higher area into Scarlet Swamp.
Yeah, and now we just have rot everywhere. We have pretty much, lack of a better term, a vegetable riding a horse. A mad vegetable. He's still able to move his limbs and everything.
Yes.
But, like...
Oops.
I didn't know what was happening for a moment. At least you hit the ground. That's what matters.
Yeah.
And I never started a clock for this, so I don't know if we should...
I feel like we've been playing for a while.
I think we have a couple more minutes, and we should be okay. I don't want to push it too far.
Right.
But, I mean, this episode's about theories at this point,
Yes.
so I think people can excuse me on this one.
Right.
What other crazy background stuff? So, like, the Crucible... Let's bring together everything we've listed. Death Rune, Crucible...
That's a lot of shit.
What was... why are there so many characters that start with M in this game for names? They all sound the same to me.
Because that's how you identify who their parent is.
True. What's her name? Again, you can tell it's been a while since I played. I still have the knowledge, but not everything. The name of the character who is your quote-unquote maiden that joins you. Melina. We have to touch on Melina with the Frenzy Fire ending. We have to touch on that. And she's possibly, by what the theory... I would bet money on it, too. She is the Moonlit Queen? Not Moonlit Queen. Is it Moonlit Queen?
Gloomlight Queen?
Gloomlight Queen.
Or Gloomlight? I
Gloomlight?
can't remember.
Yeah. I'm assuming she's her.
She's part of the God Slayer set.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is stated didn't the God Slayers kill? No, it was. She led the God Slayers, but didn't the God Slayers turn, or was it? Because she taught them the ways of like black fire.
Well, it's just with the time and the fact that they weren't able to die correctly, it just made them go mad.
Yeah, and then there was what was the name of the guy who ended up watching over the second half of the Death Room?
Godwin.
Godwin?
No, Malekith.
Malekith,
We
yes.
talked about him in the first episode.
Yes, yes. So Malekith, like, he's watching over it.
Yep.
Wasn't he supposedly the one who killed her?
Who killed who?
The Gloomlight Queen.
No.
Who killed the Gloomlight Queen? Because it is
They
stated
don't state that she's even dead or alive.
Because they do state that Melina is dead. It's openly stated she is dead.
She's dead. She's very
And
dead.
if she is the Gloomlight Queen, then that means the Gloomlight Queen did die.
Correct.
Which would kind of make sense because if you think about it... Crap. I forgot his name already. Malekith.
Yep.
Since he had half of the Death Rune, well, technically he's not... Well, you need both halves of the Death Rune to actually make death happen. That's the thing. Because if I remember right...
It still happens. Like, you can still make death happen. It's
Yes.
just not true death.
Yes. The Death Rune causes true death to happen.
Yes.
And if I remember correct... Are you just going to skip it?
Yeah, I'm just going to skip them.
Let's see what we got. I forget who... Is it who I think it is?
I have no idea.
Never mind, it's just a new area, I guess. Oh, no, I know where we are. Oh, wait, do I know where we are? Are those... Who I... Wait. Yep, I know where we are. Yep, I know exactly where we are. I remember them. I wear their helmets a lot.
I didn't get very far.
I don't think they fight one another. Nope, they're all on the same team, it seems.
Yep.
Wait, are they?
I don't know.
Nope, yep, they're on the same team.
Yeah, they look
Never
like they're
mind.
on the same team.
Book of the
Well,
Guilty.
shit.
Yeah.
Online play item.
Checklist of indicated players. So if I remember right, Godwin was attacked on the night of Blades or Knives, one of the two, by the assassins, and all the assassins were women, but that doesn't have anything to do with the story.
No.
They attacked him and used the Rune of Death. I don't remember, did they have the whole rune or only another half of it?
They only had half of it.
Which killed him, like, mentally. Because
it killed his soul.
Yeah, his soul was gone.
Yep.
Because at the bottom of Godfrey's castle, right? Godric the Golden. At the bottom of Godric's castle is like the weird husky leftovers of him.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have that.
His nasty Kraken looking face.
The yucky looks like it's sticky kind of facey thing.
Yes.
Yes. So that's technically that's physically alive.
Yes.
And also a little side note, whoever the magical character is in that, you find a bloodstain on there and you see that he goes up to it. So he knew about it. So they had that half. And then we had... Malekith had the other half, I believe. I think. I don't remember who had which half.
So Godwin had a half at one point.
Yes.
And then he dies after the night of the Black Knives, I think is what it actually
something
is.
like that.
But the reason why the rune split in half was because Ronnie died at the same time.
She died... It was the same time?
Exact. To the dot.
And hers was the physical half that she had.
Her body died, but her soul stayed alive.
That's why she's inside the doll.
That's why she's in the doll.
So, if it was so for that one, if you kill someone, their soul is still lingering around somewhere, and hers just so happened to go into a doll that was created.
Yes.
Okay, and then Godwin's, his was spirit. His spirit's now dead, and that's just gone, but the body still remains.
Yes,
okay.
The body still remains.
Okay.
And his death rune went to Ronnie. She took it from him, essentially.
Okay. Because
originally, the hell's her name?
The lady that sleeps with the dead people?
Nope. Higher up on the list. Radagon's wife.
Was she over at the university?
Nope. His second wife.
The one that was once
the
a
one
dude.
that is him.
The one that was once a...
Yes.
The one that married himself?
Yes.
Okay, yep. Her.
Queen.
The queen.
Yeah.
I'll just go with that.
Everybody's yelling at us right now.
Queen.
How do you not remember?
It's been a year, guys.
Well, for you,
9 months. Around 9 months, probably.
it's been like 30 minutes for me.
Cut me some slack here, okay? I beat the game. I was happy with it. I wanted to move on to other things.
Yep.
I'm going to get back to it. There's DLC coming out. I'm going to touch on it, probably.
Yes, for sure. But essentially what it was is because she broke the rune.
The original rune?
She messed with the death rune, yes.
Okay.
Well, and she is the person who destroyed the Elden Ring.
Yes.
Yes.
And then
Radagon tried to fix it.
Yeah, and supposedly by what we can see, and it's pretty much confirmed, all the Elden runes that all of the demigod children have are pretty much parts of it.
Yes.
It's not all of the parts, but because like if you took all of them, it's still not going to put it together. I think they said it was split into 7 parts.
And
we only know
like
5,
8 or 10 different parts.
Yeah, and we don't know where all of them are still.
Well, that's probably where they're going to be is in the new DLC.
I hope so, because again, like we are missing. I think one of them's brought up like. Because I believe the death room is just its own thing altogether. The death room is just its own thing. Like, just death. But, like, all the slivers you have, like for instance, I believe it stated, like, Mikola also gets one. But Mikola is obviously, you know, a little preoccupied.
Yep.
You know, Mog ended up... No, Mog had his...
Mog had...
He did. His was the blood one.
Yep, his transferred into being the blood room.
Yep, and then you had... I'm not going to go over all of them or I'm going to be here the entire time. But anyway, essentially, everyone, like... That was their vie for the throne, was like, we also have a shard. So, like, if we were able to get all the shards together, we are the true Elden Lord. Because we have the ring.
Because we have the ring.
Yes, okay. I'm remembering that.
Totally Lord of the Rings kind of a thing there.
And no one... Funniest part, no one can argue this for no reason, even though there's easily an argument to be made. Could you imagine if... Godric the Golden, correct?
Yep.
If Godric actually got all the pieces together, would you honestly say, yes, that's our Elden Lord, that's Godric the Golden, now he's the grafted, look at him, of course. Yeah, I think
that's why he never got any further than he was.
Yeah, and and they even say in the story he tried a few times, but then Melania pretty much just beat him to death.
Sat him back down and said, nope.
And then before he died, he just dressed as a woman and got out. And Melania, too many M's, but she knew what was going on, and she was like, you're not even worth killing. I'm leaving. Because that was either on the trip to go fight Radahn, or that was when she was coming back from Radahn, or when she took the second trip when she was looking for...
She was very hurt when she came back from Radahn.
Yeah, like, there was... And I'll make this the last thing, and we'll end it here. But, like, I remember it stated in the lore, and it's one of the sacred ashes you can pick up.
Yep.
There was one of her soldiers that was, like, not even her second in command, but, like, someone who was, like, high up in her army and a friend of hers. Who... He was literally the one who picked her up and carried her all the way back to the Hailing Tree.
Yep.
And if you look at the map, those are 2 separate points of the entire game. He walked the entire way.
Uh-huh.
That's some cojones right there.
Yeah.
Literally, after the biggest fight 2 characters could possibly have on the entire surface of the game. Sorry, Radahn. Before you lose all sense of who you are, let's call this a draw. I'm going to get her out of here before things get worse. Because look around the area. Things are pretty bad as it is. And I'm going to dip.
See ya, bye-bye.
Like, you're hurt, she's hurt. You're now going to rot away in your mind. Your soldiers are pretty much the ones that are still sensible. Try and kill you.
And now you eat them.
Yeah, I think it's time to leave.
Yep, goodbye.
Any arguments? And Radahn at that point is like, leave. I gotta make sure. I gotta just make sure my horse is okay. Just go. While his brain is literally rotting away.
And that's the funny thing too, is he is so devoted to that horse that he still doesn't kill it.
And you know the horse is definitely inflicted and in pain every moment.
Oh yeah.
And yet he uses his gravity magic to make sure that he's light enough the horse can carry him.
Yes.
Even in the middle of the heaviest battle.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll call it here. Thank everyone for watching. Well, thank everyone for making this possible.
Yes.
Thanks to patrons for making this possible. When we come back, we'll actually get back to it and we'll talk about something other than DLC lore.
Right.
All right. So, thank you all for watching. See you next time.
Have a good day, everybody.
Later.
Bye-bye.